Hi lovelies, welcome back to UG Update. So guys, let's talk about the Soulmate series guys, and we're talking about quite an interesting episode that will be going down in the Soulmate series pretty very soon. Let's find out what happened between Sayali and Renu. But before I go into the video guys, if you are yet to subscribe to UG Updates, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget guys to give the video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, let's dive straight into the video. So guys, the episode starts with Sayali and Renu arguing, and then Renu asks Tejas to call the police. Sachin says call them, while Deep isn't wrong. The man comes to deliver the ticket, and then Roshni says Tejas has booked Andaman's ticket. The man says you got a discount, here is the refund. He gives the envelope and tickets, and then Sayali sees the envelope. Tejas thanks the man, then Sayali stops Tejas, and then he says I have much work. She says, give me this envelope. Then Roshni asks why. Sayali then asks, how did you get money? Roshni says, don't act smart. While Sayali says, we will take all the accounts now, and I will ask you and you have to answer me. Sachin says, good. While Sayali checks the envelope and asks when did Tejas start working in railways. She asks Tejas to see, and then she shows the envelope to Parish. Paris sees Joy's name on it. Then Sayali says, you got this envelope from Union office. Joy gave you 1 lakh. Then Renu worries, and then Sachin says it means Tejas has stolen the money. Sayali has exposed him. I already told you that the thief is here in this house. So he asks Renu to say now. He asks Tejas to speak up. He then says total 28 lakhs. You have to return to that. Sayali then asks Renu to call the police, but then she says you insulted my family. And the truth is out. Who will you call thief's family now? Dilip then says, I have stolen the bike and lost my dad. I promise Sayali that I won't do this again. Paresh then says, Renu, you know whose mistake is it? Shaba then asks, will you blame us for anything if we are poor? We raise children with sincerity, but we never cheated anyone. And then she cries. She then says, I have raised my 3 children well. Dilip has come here to apologize, and we will not hear your taunt. We also have respect. Juhi taunts Renu about Tejas, but then Sachin smiles, and Paresh says they are right. Sally says, you insulted my family. Why are you silent now? Sachin says she can't give an answer. She is in shock. Her son is a thief. He taunts Tejas and Roshni, and then Roshni asks Tejas, why are you silent? Paresh says, Tejas, how did you get the money? Renu then starts acting. While she says, my head is spinning and I forgot that I had given the money to Tejas. It's mental stress. Sachin says, wow, what an acting. But then Renu says, I gave him the money. He said his salary will come late. Tejas could have stole them. But then Tejas says, I didn't know it's dad's money. Paresh says, you insulted them, and then Renu says, I forgot. It was my mistake. Sayali then says, you said easily that you forgot it. Can my family forget your bitter words and the blame? You insulted them. This matter will end when you apologize to my family. Sachin then says yes. While Renu asks what, Sayali then says you have to apologize to my family. Paresh says she is saying the right thing. Then Renu says fine, I forgot and behaved wrong. She apologizes to Shoba and everyone, and then Sachin says nice acting. Paresh says forget it, she has apologized. While Shoba says we will go now. Paresh says no, have tea. Shoba then says we should leave. Sachin then asks Dilip to come home anytime he wants. But then Sayali and Paresh go to see them off. Sachin says you saved Tejas this time. What will you do the next time? Renu then gets angry while Sachin says Tejas, I will see how long you will fly free. I will trap you. He goes and then Roshni gets angry and goes to her room. Renu stares at him angrily and then Tejas goes to her. She beats him and then she scolds him for stealing money. He cries and then he says, I had no option. Roshni asked me to book honeymoon tickets. I went to showroom and asked them to give money for the work I did, but they didn't agree. I couldn't tell Roshni sorry, so she then says, should have asked me for money, but you have stolen money. I had to apologize to them and I lost my respect. He then says, I didn't know this would happen. Then she asks, how can you fall so low? You have stolen money from my cupboard. And then he says sorry. She says, if I didn't act of forgetting, then Sachin would have beaten you. Did you think Roshni would have hated you? Teja says, I won't do this again. She cries and then she says, I thought you would keep my head high. I will be proud of you. What did you do? You don't do anything that insults me. Find a new job. He then says, I promise I won't do this again. Forgive me. She wipes his tears and asks him to go to his room, and then he goes. While Sayali then sees Renu, and then she goes to her room and cries. Sachin comes and asks, did Renu tell you anything? She says, my family got insulted because we are poor. Sachin says, my nana gave this house to Renu. I'm an ordinary taxi driver. Why do you think you are inferior? She says, no, Renu would have not thought the same about Roshni's brother. Her dad is rich, so I feel so insulted. I always get insulted. Renu does partiality between Roshni and me. One Bahu is kept like a queen, while the other like a maid. But the Bahus don't get equal respect because Roshni's dad is rich. Sachin then says, we haven't seen that her dad is rich. We don't know. She might be lying. She then says her personality is nice. I'm simple and my parents are poor. Guys, it's quite a lot that went down on this episode. Finally, Tejas was actually exposed, although Renu tried to act the smart one. But regardless, she still apologized to Sally's family. So guys, what do you have to say about the episode? What do you have to say about the drama that just went down on this episode? Please drop what you think about it on the comment section. And as you do that, please don't forget that this is still UG Updates. In case if you are yet to subscribe to UG Updates, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget guys to give the video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, that will be a wrap. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. I really love you guys and I will see you guys on my next video.